Well, howdy, howdy, howdy again. I'm back. Couldn't sleep. Yeah, I've been watching Will Johnson. I had tried to jump on with lead guitar man, but he ended it before I got everything where I could get away. I didn't want to just push into his panel all guns ho. I wanted to make sure it was okay first, but I didn't get that far, so I ended mine, unfortunately. But then I got to thinking about things and listened to a few other people and think think about what's going on in our world today. We just don't realize we just don't realize what is going on in our country. We had the big thing now, TikTok. It's an application. Lindsey Graham was on with uh, Jesse Waters. He didn't know what the bill stood for. Oh, I had to go back and recheck it and make sure it's not what you say it is. But it's a tool for our government to have to spy on us as citizens in our social media, 10 up to $1 million, 10 years in prison. Come on, folks, we don't need that. Just quit using the app. It's an app. We don't want. We can stop our kids. We can stop people working in the government. They don't have to use the app, just like any other useless app on the internet. Do away with it. Just don't use it. I can't figure out the common sense anymore. And I'm scared. I'm really scared when you hear these things and you hear full grown senators that don't know what's going up against them. Two different bills that both lead to the same thing, just different wording, a little protection here, a little more protection for the government. But we the people are being shafted down we're being pushed down the river and over the dam. We can't take it anymore. We cannot sit back and let this government tell us what we can watch, what we can't watch. And if we do watch or do it, we get fined and imprisoned and we throw everything over the cliff. We throw it all away. We're losing our rights left and right, and we don't even realize it. Just one word can change the definition of a whole piece of legislature. One word. We have to read them thoroughly. We have to have people pour over them and check what's going on. That one little word can enchain us forever. If we let them get their way, that's what's going to happen. And I really want to apologize for earlier when I started up. I intended to tell everybody to go with me to lead guitar man who already had a panel going up. But by the time I checked on my other phone, he was closing up, and then I was out of material. Not really, but I didn't have everything laid out in front of me like I would have normally. As I said before, there's sometimes I write things down and say, "What in the world does this mean?" I can't even figure out my own chicken scratch. So I'm either have to vocally record what I'm going to say or something different. As I get on here and go, the lights hit me, and yeah, blinded by the light, as the song goes. Man, I tell you what, the things they are trying to push on us. Why are we trying to make this world worse? Riddle me this. Why is our government trying to push us over a cliff into a third world country? Is that their equality? Make ourselves as bad as the worst one? Somebody help me out with this. This is what I struggle with. You know, what are they trying to prove? give me some kind of clue. And right now, it all looks filthily bad. It all is bad. It all is rubbish. We've got high prices. They want us to go to electricity, electric cars. It costs more to produce and more industrial waste making electric cars than it does the fossil fuel. If you compare them, it's probably worse if you put them side by side. It's pretty doggone bad when you have people that run the automotive industry and they have a show of their electric vehicles and they ask where they got the juice for the charging plants. Well, we just plug into the grid. Well, what is the grid? She didn't know what the grid was. She didn't know it was a power plant burning coal behind them and about 10, 15 miles away with a coal power plant going, furnishing their juice for the clean cars. This woman's supposed to be a dignitary higher up in the auto manufacturing. She didn't know what the electric grid was and what it consists of. I think most people think we just get it out of the ground. If you come and ask them where do they get electricity from, they'll point to a plug, like AOC. Like, what was it, the meme they showed her plugging in an electric surge cord into herself, trying to get power? That's the extent of it, folks. That's what our kids are learning. And now we got representatives with the same mindset. They wouldn't know a cow from a horse, a donkey from a mule. If it stared them in the face, they probably could not tell you the difference. That's what's leading our country. And that's what we got to get away from. We got to get them out. We got to get them out. Whatever it takes, however it takes. We got to beat them at their own game. And believe me, they are playing a game. It's out there. They're not being quiet about it. They're even, we got it around them and it hit them right in the face. They knew it. We still got them. Yeah, we're suckers. We're fools. And they arrest all of our people that protest against it. And we need that many more behind them. We need that many more behind them. Not going into places and doing like they did. Stay out of them. But we need to protest out there. We can't keep quiet. We can't be afraid that they'll put us in there for 3 years without any representation. We can't be afraid of these things. We got to stand up and give it our all. Our all. Peacefully. Give it our all. Peacefully go out there and tell them what we want. Peacefully stand and wave our flags and talk good. Don't talk as evil nonsense. Getting back, get even, tear us down. Don't get into that. Don't get into that. We got one side that they're peaceful protesters, but the whole city's burning behind them in the background. Throwing fire bombs at police. Tearing up property left and right, looting, taking whatever they could get for reparations. You get on the other side, they walk into a building, taking pictures, walking slowly, taking pictures of the rotunda and everything around them, all struck by the awesomeness of the Capitol building. And they're in prison with no representation. Those other jokers that burnt down towns are out having a good time. Never spent a day in jail. Which state was that, Casey? Yeah, the governors need to keep their hands off the guns. There's more people that own guns than any other anything else in this world. And in comparison to the size of people that own guns, there's a small percentage that go to evil. Illinois, that's a bad state. That's blue all the way through. It's pathetic that we have states like that. We have New York, California, Illinois, three of the main big ones, thorns in our sides. And everything about their government is corrupt, way behind times, no police help, nothing. And they try to push it on us like it's great. Come on. We're not that stupid. Or are we? We're not doing anything. We're not doing anything. We're going out, we're making little things here and there, but we're not doing anything to prove that we're mad, that we're upset, and we're not going to take this anymore. We're not doing anything, nothing in a mass scale, nothing. It's like I said earlier, if we get out every Saturday at 1 o'clock, or set a time, 1 o'clock's perfect though. Get out there and wave your flags for an hour, half hour, whatever you feel comfortable with. As long as you're walking and not stopping, there's nothing any city can do to you for waving your flag, as long as you're moving. If you sit down, take up space somewhere, then you might have to have a permit. You have to check your local authorities, and localities have the right to put these things in place, because there's other groups that might not be so kind. They'd like to get in there and they'd like to wreak havoc. So these towns have to protect themselves in some way, and it's their job to do this legislation, not the federal government, but the local governments. They enforce their streets, they enforce the situations that go on there. And we have to be totally law-abiding and know their laws before we go out and do things, even a mild protest or even flag waving. We have to know the laws in that particular precinct, area, whatever you might say. We have to abide by our laws. And the Bible tells us, unto Caesar things that are Caesar's, but unto God the things that are God's. And we had to make it separate. But if the laws go against our Constitution, if the laws affect us illegally, they need to be struck down. We need to make note of it. A little glare there. Funny how you see yourself on cameras and see these little things. What I'm afraid of is getting a streak down my beard that doesn't match anything else. That must be vain. I must be a vain person. I don't know. But anyway, back to what I was talking about. Ooh. Local is where the laws should be made for our state, for our area. And if it's wrong, we can fight against it. But most of them are just laws. Some of the taxation that goes on, that's another story. They tax anything that ain't nailed down. So if you sit in one place, they probably put a tax on you sitting there, if they could. That's the way it is. But it's our place, as we the people, to get out there and let them know where we stand on it, how we stand on it, what we'll take and what we won't take. And now let me tell you, they'll try to push their agenda as much as they try to push ours. They will try. We got to let them know that's not your job. Your job is to do our agenda, 100%. If we agree with your agenda, maybe we'll go along with it. But you better make it plain. You better make it simple. Because we're going to be watching. We're out there. We're going to look over your shoulders the whole way. From the bottom all the way to the top. Folks, we got to start locally. We got to get there on our street corners. Forget Washington, forget New York, unless you live there. If you live there, protest it. California, whatever, wherever you are, get out there, show your colors. How are they going to know if we don't show them? Begging you, begging you. Get out there and show it in force. Many people as you can get there. And a lot of people tell you, I'm not into that. But once they get out there and do it, they're hooked. They're hooked because it brings that thing in your heart, the patriotism and job well done. Job well done. Because you are helping your country out. You're helping your ancestry, your children, your grandchildren, your great grandchildren, so on and so on. It goes on a long way. It goes on a long way. And good night, Casey. Good to see you here. Sorry. It is now midnight. It is now Thursday. We've got another day. We're over the hump. Over the hump. I hope more to come in and join me. I might sit here back here quiet, wait for people to join me, chit chat a little bit, talk about things that are going on. But it's scary not knowing what their real agenda is. And right now, what they're throwing out does not look good. I mean, they're making Satan jump up and down with joy with the stuff that they're bringing out. And I heard earlier today that we're living in the Forrest Gump type area now. We got Joe Biden. He don't have his box of chocolates. He has his ice cream sundae. Who would ever think that the U.S. would be run like the Forrest Gump movie? I wouldn't think we'd have anybody of that type in as the president of the United States. I am so ashamed of us. And all you people sitting back there clapping that he won, you deserve every minute of it. Every minute of it. It's a doggone shame we had to put up with it along the way. But I hope you enjoy this time. And I hope they get you as much as they get everybody else. But right now, they're focusing on Christianity. Yes, Christianity. Hi there, cup of coffee and me. Glad to have you here. But I tell you, it's so disgusting to hear people talk and hear people applaud all this stuff, and they know it's not helping the country, and they know it's making it worse. So what is their end goal? What do they want? I guess they want everybody to get $10 a week with every other amenity given to them. I guess that's what they're looking for, the handout, the equality, when everybody's equal. Well, nobody will care whether they're a doctor or a lawyer or a governor or a president, because they won't mean nothing. If they get what they want, none of those titles will mean anything unless it's a dictatorship. And that's going to affect everybody. That's going to affect everybody from liberals to right to you name it. It's going to affect everybody, not just Christians, not just government people. It's going to affect everybody. And if they do away with God altogether, woe is me. Because the devil doesn't like anything but destruction. And we're well on that path. You'd have to be blind, dumb, and crazy not to know what's going on now and not to see it and visualize what could happen, where it's heading, how it's heading. I just can't believe we sit back and do nothing with no conviction. We party, we have fun, we talk about the weather, we talk about things going on, but the important things we slough off. We don't want to hear it. We don't want to sit and listen. We don't want to keep our Constitution intact. And believe me, like the Ten Commandments, the Constitution covers the rest of it. The two articles go hand in hand, like they're supposed to be together. Yet the fear is strong. And like Roosevelt said, we have nothing to fear but fear itself. And that says a lot. The fear goes a long way. It travels until it's stopped. If we dwell on fear, we're going to lose. We can't fear fear. We cannot fear it. We have to go straight on into the struggle and tell it like it is. Let the truth be known. If the truth be known, people will wake up. Some won't. There's always a percentage to say black is white, white is black, the sky is not blue, the earth is flat, whatever. There's always somebody that's going to say just the opposite. Always. Always going to be somebody trying to ring your bell, trying to shut you up, trying to tell you you're crazy, trying to tell you you're not important. But we are all important. This involves each and every one of us. And if we don't do it, I guarantee we will pay. We will pay. That's what we should all do. A cup of coffee and me. I do too. Anybody's welcome to share their stream on here, their link. Everybody's welcome. I try to help everybody. If it wasn't for people like Tommy Timber and Tommy Temper, Big Riggs and Gary, the Ride Along Gang, we got a lot of them that shares links for everybody. We got to get our voices out there. We got to talk. We got to let everybody know we're here. If we keep silent, they won't know we're here. It's bad when you go to your subscribers and you have almost 300 of them. Nobody's online. And the ones that are online aren't worth mentioning. Sorry to say, they're not worth the time of day. It's sad. YouTube should be buzzing with the subject of unity. United we stand, divided we fall. It's all unity. Everything comes with united, unity. Let's get it in our heads, get it in our thoughts, and bring unity back. There's nothing united anymore. We don't help our neighbors. We don't even know our neighbors. We don't help people that are in need. We depend on the church to do it. But what's the church do with it? They build bigger buildings. They make their investments go up. They don't help people. It's pathetic. That's what we all got to do. Cup of coffee. Yep. We got to get out there on the bridge. It don't have to be a bridge. You can get on any road, your road. It don't matter. Get out there and wave the flags. If there are vehicles going by, you're in the right place. If they blow the horn, it's even better. And they will blow the horn. People are patriotic. They cuss you out. I've never. Well, yes, I have. I've had the finger. I've had the wave. You're right. I don't let that bother me because there's more that blow their horn and wave than there are that cuss you or yell at you. At least in my areas. I have a good time, and I leave each one of them feeling really good. And I've been to a few here lately. Hope to be to a lot more. My goal is to get something where I can travel around the state and not have to go back and forth because it gets expensive when your car's a 6 cylinder. It likes gas stations. It's rough. So I had to find out what's closest and if I could go stay here and spend the night and go from there, or all of just it logistics of it and the finances of it. But if it's out nearby, hopefully I can get to it. I hope I can get to them. That's the thing. United, we the people, be united in our goal. And what's our goal? Our goal is for our freedoms. Keep our freedoms. Keep them intact. That sounds good. I'd like to have a bus too. I can't. I'm looking. I'm looking. I got to be able to afford it. Yeah. A lot of the buses you have to take apart, bring it down. It's a big job. It's a big job. I'm getting up there in years, so I can't do any job. I got to save my money and wish. I'm thinking more like a smaller trailer with a bed in it and AC and a place to work. Maybe put an outside area adjacent to it. But we need people that can travel around the states that we're in, spread the word, get people together, and get people out to join us. And it's a great feeling knowing that you're trying to help and hopefully accomplish a lot. You see it here, there, you see it, you hear it. It's growing. I can see the ripples, and those ripples will hopefully become the wave. But we got to do it starting at home. We got to do it starting with me and you. Me and you together. We go out there and increase it every time. We can do it. But we got to do our part. We have to do our part. I know I say this over and over, but without you, we're nothing. We are nothing. My sentiments exactly. I have got rid of most all of my stuff. Just have what I have with me. But it grows too. It grows. And I gotta stay small, mobile. That's why I dedicated my end life spreading the news. Paul Revere, more or less. Redcoats are coming. But it's not the redcoats. The evil's coming. It's here. It hasn't went anywhere. Might have been hiding. It's coming out of hiding and coming at us right on. That sounds good. Where are you from? We need to help everybody. A lot of people out there suffering. They won't tell anybody because of pride. There's a lot of people out there suffering, not knowing where their next meal is coming from. And the ones that of us that do, we should be glad to thank the Lord that we have it. Many out there don't. and they're struggling day in and day out. We have to carry this fight for them because they have their own battles. We have to pick up their slack and help them with everything we can. Not no ifs or buts. We have to get to know our fellow people. We have to get to where we help each other. Because there's going to come a day we're going to need that help. If we're not victorious, we're going to need all the help we get. And we pray, pray, and pray without ceasing. But as I said before, we got to put on that full armor. We got to go out and fight the battle. It's up to us. God will help us. He'll give us the strength. He'll give us the courage. But he will help us. Houston, Texas, that's a good place. Oh, no. Oh, no. Anything good, they try to stop. They don't want anything, any glory going to anything that might be of God. And that's one way they stop it, is helping different things. They did that here in Orlando on our big park in the middle of the city with a big old fountain glorifying the city beautiful. But they won't let people eat there. They won't let the homeless eat there. They don't want any food brought in there, which is where they all sleep at night. They hate anything with the name of God. They hate it, and that's their spirit. That's the demon spirit. They can't love God. They have to hate God. Good versus evil. And you're not going to change evil. You're going to have to beat them. Beat them at their own game. We have to keep them out of our life. We need to weed them out. Put a picture with the face. Let people know who they are, what they stand for, and why they stand for it. It's all pure evil. All pure evil is going on now. And there's only one way we can stop them. Band together and do our thing. We have to do it. We had to get out there and fight the fight. Spread the word. Let everybody know what's going on. And sometimes we have to do it in short clips because nowadays we have the TikTok 90-second mentality. If you don't get it said in 90 seconds, it's not done. It's not heard. We can show pictures with live streaming, but we had to go from person to person at the supermarket, at the checkout. Tell them, have a blessed day. It's terrible what our government's doing to us, ain't it? Yeah. Get a little conversation going. And when you come back the next time, you know what they said. Churches now have gone the wrong way. There's not too many churches out there that set the right example for anybody. I don't condemn people for not going to church. I don't go to a regular church myself because I have told that I couldn't be in a church because I've been married before. I've had people tell me I couldn't join their church for all kinds of reasons. But the Bible doesn't tell you have to go to church anywhere. It says where 2 or 3 are gathered together, there I will be also. He has to be the main thing in your life. And we have to believe in our own way. We have to read the scriptures ourselves and understand them ourselves. We don't need somebody brainwashing us, telling us this is what it means and that's what it means. We have to understand it ourselves in our own mind and satisfaction. Personally, we are subject to Jesus. Each person, not that pastor, not that church, but you as an individual are the only one that Jesus expects anything out of. And that's the way we have to live our lives. Not dependent on the church. Because they're trying to take that away from us. And they pretty much have done it. They've infected most of the churches. It has infected it as much as it has our schools. So we have to do this on our own, with or without a church. Person to person. Person to person. Carry on the fight for God and country. Because they're both at stake. Both at stake. One just as much as the other. They're already pushing God out of everything. Schools, Democratic Party, you name it. And you see what's happening. Our kids are going crazy. They're going wild. We don't teach them. We try to let the government teach them. The government's teaching them wrong. They rebel, disrespect us. What do you expect? They have no moral compass. They don't have God anymore. In most homes, they don't have it. It's a sad fact. We're losing it. We are losing it. Hi, Annie S. How you doing tonight? Good to have you with me. I'm just here saying whatever comes across my mind, talking about things that are going on, the sad things, the evil, everything in this country going down at one time. And there's no real set goal. No set goal for what they want to do. They just want to destroy. Destroy, destroy, destroy. Bring us down equal to the rest of the world. Well, we won't be number one. They won't be telling us, they won't be bullying us or whatever. I don't know what they're thinking. I guess that's what it is. They think China's going to bully us. If we get down to a third world level, maybe they won't pick on us so much. What's your thought? I don't know. Put it there in the comments. Let's talk about it. What do they expect? What do they want? What's their end goal? Because there's no common sense. There's no real good explanation. Oh, they want electric cars. They talk about carbon, but carbon is a necessity. Our trees breathe in all the carbon dioxide and all the carbon and expel it in oxygen, which we breathe, and the cycle goes on and on. Without trees or plants, we would have no air to breathe. It all goes hand in hand. And they say we're destroying ourselves, but in ancient times, trees grew larger, bigger. You had the redwood, it's about extinct. It's the largest one around now, but there were larger because there was more carbon. And we keep fooling with Mother Nature. We have to learn to live with Mother Nature and enhance Mother Nature without trying to change Mother Nature. And they're trying to change it. Well, every time you mess with Mother Nature, you're going to be fooled. And that the old saying, you can't fool Mother Nature? Well, they're beginning to find out. There have been several things that they've done they've had to correct because it affected the weather. They crossed state barge canals here in Florida, straightening out a river in South Florida. It all come to ill effect because the Everglades started drying up. So they had to put those curves back in that river. They had to shut those barge canals down and regulate the flow in and out so our sea breezes would come together. So our natural occurring events for our water, our drinking water, our springs, our wells, had to straighten it back out. And we learn from our mistakes, but they still make the same stupid mistakes. Somebody thinks they know better than Mother Nature. Oh, we could do this, this, and this. It would speed this up. By golly, the things that they mess up is worse than what they're trying to do. We need to watch all this stuff. We need to keep track of it. Study up on it. Study up what they're doing with our money. You hear all these things about HARP and different other things, weather seeding. They've been weather seeding since I was a teenager. They would go up and sprinkle cloud and bring rain. But there's a little more to it now, a little more advanced. And they can control things to some extent, and they can mess things up to a good extent. And I believe it's happening. I believe it's not a conspiracy. They're letting us know little by little. You see it out there. If you watch close enough, you can see a lot of things. And that's what we need to do. We need to see these things. We need to bring it to the surface. We need to put it on our pages. We need to let everybody see what's going on. And the news media is not putting it in there. You can go to the news all day and not see it. But we need to get out there and we need to find it and see it and record it and talk about it. Talk about it loud and change it. We, the people, need to stand up and let our voices be heard. We're all scared. We're all scared. You see what's going on around. It makes us all a little stuck back on what we do, but we can't let it dissuade us. We've got to get out there, hold the fear down, and do it. There's a lot of times I wonder, well, what if this happens or that happens? I can't let it cross my mind. We have to get out and do it, no matter what. Let our voices be heard. If they're not heard, we've lost. We've got to let it be heard. And talking about it like now is good. Share it out to everybody. If you haven't heard it, share it. Let's get it out there. Let everybody know. This is what we're up against. Bad times. And it's coming quicker than any of us realize. We can see it in our grocery stores. We can see it in our fuel prices. We can see everything rising. We can see shortages coming, left and right shortages. You'd think if the prices went up, then nobody'd be buying, but they're buying anyway. It's a confusing time. We don't know what to do. We just do it and take it. But why should we take it? Why should we do it? Why should we pay the prices? Is the answer boycotting? Is the answer going back to the old way, only buy gas on certain days and boycott the high prices? I don't know. I don't know. I've seen it work before, and I've seen it fail before. It just depends on the time and the situation. These are things we have to think about. These are the things we have to come up with. And we need to make it a united decision to do it. A lot of people say if they had just shut down all trucks on the day that TPC ended, if they'd have just shut everything down wherever it was and left it off a while, it would have been better than just breaking up and not going into DC. There's a lot of hindsight in things, but we got to go forward. We got to forget all the past. We had to forget what's happened and the failures, correct the failures. We need to do it right. We need to get it right. United. Key word. Unite. Don't forget, sleep on it. Unite. Bring everybody into the fold. Unite. Make it our plea. Unite, and we'll get freedoms and everything back. All in our grasp, all in our power. If we unite, I can't say it enough. I can't say it enough. Who's with me? I got 3 here. Everybody with me? Could be up more on other channels, but I don't know. I don't get YouTube. What's going on there? But we've a lot to be afraid of, but we can't be afraid. We can't be afraid. Like I say, start small, work your way up. Saturday at 1 o'clock, wave those flags. Wave them everywhere. Wave them proud. Start with us few. Grow it every week. Grow it every week. Let everybody know. Make up signs. Flag wave, 1 o'clock Saturday anywhere. Advertise it. Get it out there. Put it on your Facebook. Put it on all your pages. Let's get her done. Let's get her done. Lord, we need all the help we can get. All the help we can get, plus more. Till we roll over it like a steamroller. Just crush it on the way through. Unite. That's our message. That's our message. We are not the divided states of America. They try to keep us that way, but we're not. We are the United States of America. And I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic, not democracy, to the republic, which is representative. We vote people to represent us, speak our voice, for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, united, with liberties, yes, liberties and freedoms, justice. Don't forget justice. Look what's going on now. No justice whatsoever for all of us here. Remember when you say that pledge. You're giving your life to your country, to your flag, to the people that's persecuted for us. No justice, no liberties, no freedom. We have to do what they say, how they say it. We can't say it our way. We have to use code words. Is that not a freedom lost? If you look back at some of the things that we can't do, our freedom, come up with a list. Little things you wouldn't even think about. Little things. But they go a long way. And they get bigger and bigger and bigger until we're bound down by so many chains, we won't be able to break free. We won't be able to voice an opinion. We won't be able to talk about it. And it's close. Who knows how long we'll be able to speak what we think we can speak. Tell what we think we can tell. How quick has it come upon us? Think about it. How quick has all this come on us? We're misinformation. We don't know what we're talking about. How quick has it came? Would you have suspected that within 2 years, things would change so much. Folks, it's like night and day from 2 years ago. We're paying out more, we're giving more, we're saying less, we're fearful for what we say. Is that any way to live? I don't think so. We had to search for platforms that won't condemn us, that won't take us down. Fear that we'll lose all of our content when they do take it down, because it takes a lot of space to save all these videos, a lot of space. You got hard drives everywhere with videos. It's hard to back up. It's hard to keep. But we need more platforms that we can say our mind, speak our piece. And a lot of them we have out there that we think we can't there really either. They're taking notes. They're keeping their files. They got their lists. The minute they can do something about it, they're going to jump on us. Just like this thing going on with TikTok. The government sees it as a key to start another Patriot Act. And boy, will we be doomed. We won't be able to say anything ever again. Ever again. Because of an app called TikTok, owned by China. I don't know what you think, but we are still the world. We still have trade along the whole world. We do it right, we could all get along, but we don't do it right. We don't do it right at all. We tend to more turn our eyes away from what China does and put it more on Russia or whatever, but we don't go about it with a common sense idea and go. Free trade is not bad. It helps everybody, everywhere. Farmers here, being able to trade around the world. But if we stay inclusive to ourselves, it goes nowhere. It helps no one. It might help us, but we're in the world together. This is a worldwide problem. We had to start here in the US of A. Get our freedom back and spread it to the rest of the world. Because look at all the look at all the demonstrations around the world going on, and they're losing their freedoms. It goes to show you it's not just a local idea, a local thing. We are in this world. Some people may disagree with me, but we're in the game with China. And we should teach our kids to use the app with respect. But for one government to be able to go in and ban the whole thing and then ban anything like it that comes along is wrong. It is totally wrong. We have to police ourselves, stand on our moral ground. If we don't like it, don't use it. Personally, I don't use it. I watch a few things on it. There's some good content on it. There's a lot of silly content on it. There's a lot of all kinds of content on it. But just don't give them what they want. Don't give them any intelligence. Give them all the stuff that's non-intelligent that's going on it. And believe me, they wow, yeah. Have you ever wondered when you look at one of these videos, like on TikTok, of a liberal teacher talk about her kids, talk about giving them her agenda? Is everybody looking at them the same way? Are they adoring them? Or are they rejecting them? I don't know. I see a crazy person spitting a lot of words. Personally, I don't know what you see, what other people see, but they flood it with that, and they're not their children. The children belong to their parents. They still do. There's some idea that they don't, that the state owns them, but yeah, that's another thing. It's another freedom. And they do own our children, unfortunately. No matter who you are, they can come in, take them away from you without question. No reason. The states do have that power. Anyway, where was I? That's a whole other ballgame. Folks, we got so much going against us. So much. We need all the help we can get. So much wrong needs to be righted. And we need people that know the stuff that's wrong to help us get it corrected. Because most of us don't know a small fraction of what's going on. The majority of us, we don't have a clue. That's the sad part. We don't have a clue. We've been so long without them. We don't know what we're missing. We think we do, but we don't. When they start throwing mandates on us, which aren't laws, and telling us we had to abide by them, they're not doing it legally. That's more freedom. We need help. We need help desperately. All kinds of help. All kinds. I can't do it by myself. I need 1 billion other people. At least 1 billion. Desperately. I know I'm not going to get it. But others of you out there can do it. We can all help. Takes a little bit from everybody. A little bit from everybody. We got to do it. How can I make it any plainer? I can't. And we need some of these tail draggers to drag signs. Read the Constitution. Keep the Constitution. Keep our freedoms. It could be planes flying banners all the time. We can get them up there. And I'm sure there's companies that will probably do it pretty quickly because it's a dying thing and they like the money coming in. There's a lot of things we can do. A lot of ways we could do it. Right now, best thing is, like I say, get out there on Saturday afternoon, wave those flags, wave them proud, wave to the people that cuss at you, because they're going to do it. Smile and wave back. Not their salute, just a wave. I'm not condoning the saluting back. Not at all. Smile and say, thank you, have a great day. Because guess what? You got them. You triggered them. They're thinking about you. You were in their head rent-free. Imagine that. Let them shoot all the birds they want. You got them. You caught that bird. Fair and square. Yep, you got to think about it that way. That's the best way to think about it. Come out of it with a victory. There's a lot of things we can do and come out with a victory. We just have to do it. And I can't implore anymore how desperate we are to do it. We got to help each other out. We got to help each other big time and become friends with everybody and love our neighbor. Get back to those 10 commandments. Love our neighbor and help him. Everything we need to know is in those 10 commandments. Everything. Sit down and read them. Everything's covered in it. And what wasn't covered, the Constitution did. Go figure. Our forefathers put a lot of thought into that. A lot of thought. And they did doggone good. They did fantastic. With the help of God, they did fantastic. And we can't just brush it aside and say it's antique, it's outdated, because it is not outdated. The government is scared that we will use our Second Amendment for what it's meant for. They are totally scared, and they should be scared. We have the president himself threatening us with drones and F-16s and F-22s and heat seeker missiles, and you name it. You don't dare rise up against us. You got pea shooters. Well, pea shooters are being used around the world, and they're holding off one big dog. Just saying. Hopefully it never comes to even close to that. We don't want any blood spilled for our freedoms. There's been enough spilled for our freedoms. That's why we shouldn't let them be taken away lightly. Every dead soldier from a battlefield is a price paid for these little freedoms that they're taking, one at a time, at a time. Every drop of blood they bled is going to naught when we let them get away with it. We can't let them get away with it. We can't continue on the road we're on. We've got to get out. Let it be known that we're not going to take it anymore. We're going to voice our opinion, and we're going to do what's necessary. We got to. And forget the fear. Forget the being afraid. We have got to do it. We have got to do it. And if we don't, we'll be losing soon. We will lose if we don't get off our butts and do our job as caretakers of this earth. Think about it with me. They get their way, what will it be like? You think they'll make things better? You think they'll give out to people equally? It's never happened. Never will happen. They can promise you the moon, but it's just a promise. They don't have to keep it. Nothing says you have to keep promises. That's a fairy tale. But you promised. A promise should be a promise, but it's not anymore. There's no such thing. Unfortunately, we try to keep our promises with our children, our family. It's great. As far as the government promising, look out. Never happened. It'll never happen. They'll never give it to us. Never give it to us. They don't want to give it to us. They want it for themselves. And they would be fine with a dictatorship. Believe me, if they thought they could get away with a dictatorship, it would happen right away. But they know there's too many of us that would rebel at dictatorship. They know how set we are against it. They know exactly what would happen, and we would win. So they don't want us. They don't want to give us a necessary win. They want us to fight for it. They think they can hold us back. They can keep us down. They can keep their thumb on us, keep us screwed down where we won't do anything. The day's coming to an end, folks. We got to start doing something. And we got to start now, today. Start planning. Start doing. Start doing. I'm telling you, it's a cruel world. And we were never promised a rose garden. We were told there'd be trials and tribulations, and more tribulations, and a lot of trials. We got to put our nose against the grindstone, and we got to get her done. Get her done. We've heard that. Let's get her done. Quit talking about it. I hope you're all with me. I pray that y'all are with me. Spread this far and wide. Spread this as far as you can. Spread it, spread it, spread it. That's all I can say. And y'all talk it. Y'all get on live. You talk it. Get your panels going. Talk about it. And do something about it. Let's get some action going. A little less talk, more action. We need the action. Big time. We need it. We can't do without it. Let's start. Saturday, 1 o'clock. Anywhere. Flags. Have a good time. Win some victories. Win some people over. Talk to them. If you want flyers to pass out, print some up off of 1776rm.com. 1776rm.com. They got a 3-fold flyer, which tells everything. How they can get information on helping keep the Constitution. Pass out those 3-fold flyers. If you don't want to advertise for them, do your own. Make up your own like that. We need people to do that too. Independent flyers for all the independents out there. But we need to unite everybody together. Use each other together wisely. Unite. Only have one goal. Unite. One goal. Unite. I want to hear it everywhere. Unite. Let's quit this bickering back and forth. Quit this naysaying. Quit this negativity. Oh, we can't do it. We're just not big enough. We can't change things. We're losing. We can't afford this. We're losing. We can't afford not to. We have sat on our duffs enough. We have put each other down, drug each other through the dirt, trying to push people off the whole thing because of infighting and not getting along and not being united. Unite. Say it again with me. Unite. I wake up my roommate over there and in the next room and I'm going to be in trouble. But unite. We have to do it. We have to do it. And it starts with us three. And anybody else that comes in during the night or during the day tomorrow in the future, join us and unite and share it everywhere. Share. I'm going to get off of here. It's almost 1 o'clock in the morning, Eastern time, which is East Coast. I know many of you are still earlier than midnight, but it's 1 o'clock here. That's what counts for me, 1 o'clock here. And I'm starting to, ramble. This stuff just sits on me hard, folks, and I think about it constantly. What can I do to make things better? How can I do it to make things better? I try to go on other people's show and spread the word. I'm trying in all kinds of different ways to get this going, to help us get it going, to keep us in the right track, to keep us united. And I said it again, united. I love that word, united. Y'all think about it, talk it, and say it, unite. And freedom. But we unite, we get our freedom. United, we stand. Divided, we fall. Most important word there is, unite. With that, I'm going to say good night. God bless America. God bless our troops. God bless you. I love all you guys, and I'll see you next time. Good night, all.